everybody, welcome to Music to Your Home's beginner piano course. I'm Vincent Reyna and I'm here to take you through the next series of piano lessons that we're going to be learning. But before we get started, I've got a few quick tips to help prepare you for the material that we're going to be getting into. So the first thing we're going to talk about is how to sit at the piano. Believe it or not, there is a right way to do this, so let's get into it. When we sit at the piano, we want to sit straight up with our shoulders relaxed. Okay, you want to let all the tension in your shoulders go. So just for now, let your arms hang. Keep your neck up. All right, this is going to help avoid shoulder pain and back pain because when you're learning the piano, there's going to be a lot of hours that you're going to put into practicing, and we want to make sure that you have the correct posture. So face the piano, let your arms hang, release all that tension in your shoulders, and then place your hands on the keyboard. That's our tip number one. Next, we're going to talk about finger technique. Okay, so when we're playing the piano, there is a right way to do the finger technique as well. We're going to curve our fingers. So the best way to do this, there's a few ways actually. We can take our hands, put them on our knees, sort of grab your knees a little bit, pick your hands up, and that's the shape that we want when we put our hands down on the keyboard. Another way to think of it is like grabbing a tennis ball or a baseball or whatever round ball and just holding on to it. And that's the curvature that we need in our fingers because eventually you're going to be playing quick passages on the keyboard, and if your fingers are straight, you're not going to be able to do that. You won't be able to play smoothly. The next thing we're going to talk about are our finger numbers. So each finger on our hand has an assigned finger number, and that's really important that we understand this because as you start to see music and you start reading notation, you're going to see finger numbers on top of the notes. So in our right hand and our left hand, number 1 is always thumb. Then we have 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pinky is always 5. Thumb is always 1, no matter what we do. So again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and pinky is 5. Let's take a look at a little bit of an easy exercise that you can do. Now, you can pick any random note on the keyboard. I know we don't know the keyboard yet. That's going to happen in our next lesson. But for right now, you can pick any random key and take your number 1 with your right hand. So remember, you're going to sit straight, shoulders down, no tension, and we're going to take just our right hand. I'm going to be choosing the note middle C, which you're going to be able to view, and I'm going to put my thumb, number 1, on middle C. And now I'm going to just go up, practice number 2, and we're ascending. That means we're going to the right on the keyboard. Now number 3, number 4, and number 5. And that's just a good way to get used to the finger numbers and getting finger independence and, just playing different notes on the keyboard using our right hand. Let's try that one more time. So again, I'm going to be using the note middle C with thumb. Number 1, number 2, keep the fingers curved. Number 3, number 4, and number 5. Now we're going to go backwards. We're going to start with number 5 and we're going to descend. That means we're going to the left on the keyboard. So here's 5, keep the fingers curved. Number 4, number 3, number 2, and number 1. All right, so try that a few times until you get used to actually playing those fingers independently. That's something that you really do need to practice. Now we're going to start with our left hand, and I'm going to choose number 1 again. This time I'm going to place it on the note G, and you'll see that. And I'm going to start with a descending note. So we're going to start with thumb on G. Now we're going to go number 2, number 3. Remember to keep the fingers curved. 4 and 5. Let's do that one more time. So we're going to start with number 1 again. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. And number 5. So this time, let's switch it up. We're going to start with number 5 and we're going to ascend up the keyboard. So that means we're going towards the right. 5, now number 4, now number 3, now number 2, and number 1. And I would go back and practice that a few times just with the right hand, just with the left hand, just getting used to playing the fingers independently. And like I said, you can choose any random key, but you'll see on the little light up keyboard that I chose to start on C in the right hand and number 1 on G in the left hand. So that was 1 on C for the right hand and 1 on G for the left hand. Now the last thing I want to talk about is if you're having any issues or having a hard time following some of the concepts or some of the tutorials are moving a little bit too fast for you, remember to hit pause, rewind, and do it again. You can do it as many times as you need to until you're comfortable playing whatever concepts we've been learning, and once you're ready, then you move on to the next tutorial. I'll see you at the next lesson.